The experiment, which was thought by Rutherford, designed by Rutherford, was done by Giger and Marsden. But in fact, when this was done for the first time and the results were shown to Rutherford, he rejected it and he said there has not been any use of this experiment. Why? See, first, details of this experiment. There is one radioactive source which is emitting out alpha particle. Alpha particle are helium nucleus. Helium nucleus, and it has got mass equal to 4 units of hydrogen and electric charge equal to 4 electrons, but 2 electrons, but positive. So this is configuration for helium nucleus, this is configuration for alpha particles. So when alpha particles are ejected from here, we have a small collimator, that is a device so that they go in a line. Alpha particles are ejected out in all the directions, but we give them a passage so that all these particles going in different directions are absorbed, and the particles which are going straight, only those particles can pass through it, and this is done with the help of lead bricks, because lead bricks have tendency to absorb. So alpha particle going here or here, they are absorbed and only the one which are going straight will lead. Okay. So this is for shooting of alpha particles, and they go with a great speed. Here the material used is bismuth, which has mass equal to 214 and number of protons are 83 in it. This is a radioactive material out of which alpha particles are going out. Now these alpha particles, when they move with a high speed, they have a lot of energy. How much energy do they have? Answer, energy is 5.5 million electron volt. Okay. With so much energy they move. Okay. Now with this high speed, when they go and strike the gold plate or the gold foil, what happens? They pass through or they reflect. That is observed. Here we put this detector at this point. This is a zinc sulfide, and all the alpha particles which go here can be counted. So with help of a microscope. So alpha particles are counted there. If there is a scattering, that means alpha particles go to some other directions, like if they go like this, if they go like this, they go like this, then here when it is detected, the two observations are noted. How many particles are there in the given time and how much is this angle? How much is this angle, and at this angle how many particles are found here in a particular given time. This is the reading between what? Number of particles detected and angle detected. And accordingly we got the readings for 0 degree, 10 degree, 30 degree, 90 degree and up to 180 degree. So detector was brought up to 180 degree and all the readings were noted. Okay. So what did we find? Here what we are using? Gold, and gold has got a number, that is this is very thin foil of gold. And how thin it is? It was used 2.1 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. You know, 10 to the power minus 3 meter is 1 millimeter. This is 1 millimeter we have seen on our scale. In that 1 millimeter, 10,000 foil can be accommodated. It was so thin. Within 1 millimeter, how many? 10 to the power 4. That is almost 10,000. It was so thin a foil. Okay, so that was its thickness. Now, but the atoms we presume were quite big. The atomic number for gold is 79. Okay, so this is supposed to be quite heavy. Now, after there is a scattering of alpha particles in all the directions, we have tabulated it. And what was in the tabulation? Number of particles and angle. And with this, they made a graph. And that graph is here. The scattering angle up to 180 and the number of particles 10 to the power 1. This is 10,000, 1 million, 10 million. Okay, so the initially most of the particles to the tune of 10 million that have passed through a very small angle. So within 1%, within 1% angle scattering is, within 1% angle scattering is 99.86%. 99.86% particles have gone straight. What is left? 0.14% which is scattered. Okay, then after this scattering, was there any one which has gone up to 90 degree? Answer is yes. There are ones, and out of 8,000, one particle out of 8,000 scattered for more than 90 degree. For more than 90 degree. One particle out of 8,000. And then one particle out of, see here, for 180 degree, how many? 10. Out of 10 to the power 7, 10 particle deflected by 180 degree. That means 1 in 1 million. This was a general result. 99.86% went straight without any scattering. More than 90, one particle out of 8,000 particles deflected up to 90 degree. 90 degree, here this 10 to the power 2 out of 10 to the power 6. So, more than 90 degree, the number was very, very less, and only one particle out of 1 million. One particle out of 1 million deflected by 180 degree, that means return back. This is what happened, and this was the experiment. Now, rest of the thing was to conclude. Does it speak for something? Can we conclude something from this experiment and from this observation? Initially, the story goes that Rutherford also rejected it. He says that 100%, 99.86 is almost 100% of the particles are going straight. There is no scattering, they are not coming back. So, our experiment has failed. If there are positive particles inside, then there have been a reflection. But Geiger, Marsden and other juniors, they insisted. So, Rutherford thought again. And they said that if 1 out of 1 million particle has reflected Why so? They say we are not concerned with the rest of the particles. Please consider that one particle which has reflected. Who forced it to reflect? So all attention was given to that one out of 1 million particles, that why they get reflected. And here Rutherford had to think it, and when he thought, then there were certain results came out. What were those results? The result number 1 was that most of the particles have gone straight. Why should they go straight? Because there was empty space. So in an atom, when the alpha particles are going and they are not deviated, not scattered, not reflected, that means there was no resistance on the way, there was no collision on the way, and it was empty. So that was conclusion number 1, that most of the space in the atom is empty. Okay, if most of the space is empty, where are the positive particles? He said that all the positive particles become together, make one heavy mass, because all are having mass also. So they all come together, make a heavy mass, and this is having almost complete mass of the atom and all positive charges in this. What is the proof? The proof is that alpha particles which are reflected by 180 degree, what does that show? It shows that, compare it with striker of a carom board. We put a striker straight and it comes back after reflection. Why it comes back? Then mechanics has told us that the border of the carom board is very heavy and this striker is very light compared to this, number 1, and there is a force of reflection which sets it back, and this border does not move back because it is very heavy. They say the same thing is happening here, that they call it nucleus. What? All positive charges, all having mass, heavy mass. Mass is almost equal to mass of the atom, and all positive charges put together at the center of the atom. Natural position at the center of the atom, that makes the nucleus. Nucleus. It was having all mass of atom, nearly. We can say electron may be outside, but all mass of atom made of positive particles is in the nucleus, and all positive charges. And where it is? At center. At center, this nucleus exists. Because it is so heavy, alpha particles are not able to move it because it is very heavy. So as a result of the collision, what happens? This lighter alpha particle reflects back itself. That is the laws of collision. Number 2, this is positive charges. Alpha particle is also positive charges. There is a force of repulsion, Coulomb's force, and it is a very large force compared to gravitational or other forces. Because of this Coulomb force, it reflects back. And why only 1 out of 1 million? Answer, this, the whole atom, all the positive charges are only in one nucleus. And how much is this area? This is 1 of the 1 million of the total atom area. What consists in the total atom area? There are certain electrons which are moving around and all the place is otherwise empty. An electron is moving like this. If an electron is moving like this, then we will say this is the volume of the atom, because this is the space covered by atom. But how much is the nucleus? Only this much, and this is what? 1 of 1 million. So much. And only those alpha particles which go in line with this are reflected. So now if I magnify it and see it, the atom is here, all the positive charges and the total mass is here, then this alpha particle will be reflected and this alpha particle will go straight. Okay, that we will see when we are going to study other things like impact parameter and closest approach in the next lecture. So, with this, the conclusions were, again I repeat, the complete mass and the charges of an atom are located at one location, point location, and that is geometrically at the center of the atom, and we call it nucleus. The complete area of the atom is almost empty. Only that nucleus place is heavily filled up with the complete mass. All the alpha particles which are directed towards it are reflected. The alpha particles which are directed to the empty place go straight. That is why 1 out of 10, 1 out of 1 million is reflected and rest all the particles go straight, and that explains this. That such a large quantity is going straight within 0 to 1 degree and up to 180 degree, we find hardly 10 out of 10 to the power 7. Okay. So, this was our construction. So, accordingly, he made his construction, one nucleus at the center with positive charges and negative charges particle. Where are they? He said it is all around them. And with that, he made Rutherford's model, which says nucleus is in the center and the electrons are outside it. But then why electron does not fall? Then he professed his other theories that electrons are continuously in motion, just like Earth is moving around Sun and it does not fall towards Sun. Okay. So, but according to this experiment, this was the first experiment which led to this idea that all the mass and charges at the center, and that thing, a new word was invented, nucleus, and that gave the shape of atom, one nucleus, electrons all around it. That was importance of this experiment. In this experiment, further detailing was done, further calculations were done, and few things we have to understand. One is what is impact parameter, other is what is closest approach, distance of closest approach, which gave Rutherford an idea that how large a nucleus should be, how large. That means we know 1 meter is this much, 10 to the power minus 1 is this much, 10 to the power minus 2 is this much, 1 centimeter, 10 to the power minus 3 is 1 millimeter, and then if we go below that, 10 to the power minus 6 is 1 micrometer, 10 to the power minus 9 is 1 nano. Like this, 10 times less, 10 times less, 10 times less. What is the size of this nucleus? For that, we have to study something known as impact parameter and closest approach. That we will study in the next lecture. Thank you.